now return to Skybound Transformers. Previously on Skybound's Transformers.
Is this all that's left? CLiffjumper asks Elita as they walk into the Autobot base. From there, we can make contact with all the remaining Autobot forces.
If there even are any.
Elita then asks him what? You get what you want and then you take off back to Earth? CLiffjumper just looks at the spark canister in his hands and solemnly says, No, to Carly.
We now return to the Transformers.
Greetings, wicked peoples. Fishy22.8 here, and today I have the Cybertronian side of the last few issues. Sorry about the delay, but narratively, I think this works better, because now we have a whole issue, or episode as you would call it, on Cybertron. On Cybertron. You sure this isn't going to be too heavy? Questions CLiffjumper.
Please, I once airlifted Motor Master. I'll be ready to drop it once you give the signal. What even is it?
You'll see, Blades.
Your eyes hold a hope I lost a long time ago, CLiffjumper.
Elita tells CLiffjumper as she loads the last few rounds into her giant storm bolter.
It's a luxury I have never experienced.
She continues. It's been one foot in front of the other. Lose a base, gain a friend, lose a friend. On and on. Starting to see how desperate the Cybertronian Autobots are, CLiffjumper's face contorts with sorrow. That's why Optimus had to leave Elita. He had lost all hope here.
So what? He just leaves? That's his solution?
She spits at CLiffjumper. His plan was always to come back, to save Cybertron.
He had his chance to save us. We're on our own now.
You need to pull yourself together, boss. Bluestreak cuts in. Have you looked around? Far as I can tell, Optimus came back for 5 minutes and cut the head off the Decepticon leadership. With Shockwave gone, we finally have a chance to change the game. You talk like no one else has lost someone. Continuing to shred into his commander, he points at CLiffjumper and the spark canister. But we've all lost so many, and continue to lose more, every day. And now we've got a chance at reinforcements? These remnants of our old warriors are a gift, Elita. And so are all of our sparks. So, Warpath.
Yo!
Blur.
Ready.
Blades. Loaded and locked. Elita.
You're right, Bluestreak.
The Dotson's words ring true to the Autobot leader's audio receptors.
Let's take that gift and use it to shoot Decepticons in the face.
Elsewhere on Cybertron, Thrust is complaining about being placed on guard duty again, while the Decepticon resource manager, Ratbat, puts him in his place.
Stop your complaining, Thrust. Wouldn't you rather be guarding the Hall of Sparks than venturing out to Autobot territory? There hasn't been any action here in years.
As the Conehead turns around to talk to his superior, something runs by him.
Exactly. At least venturing out would bring feeling danger. Life. Here it's just... Eh?
He is cut off as a small device lands on one of his air intakes. As the device explodes, the Autobot assault has begun. As Bluestreak, Warpath, and Blur charge towards the Hall of Sparks as a distraction for the Decepticons.
Let her rip! That's your cue, Elita! Go, go, go!
As Elita-1 and CLiffjumper make a break for the Hall of Sparks, Thrust and Ratbat emerge from their fiery prison.
Looks like you get your wish, old friend.
As Thrust gives chase to Elita-1 and CLiffjumper, the Autobot leader breaks away and tells CLiffjumper to keep going. As Ratbat screams for the usurpers to show themselves, Elita-1 jumps out of the flames and takes both of them down. Inside the Hall of the Sparks, CLiffjumper is in amazement at all the circuitry and other devices inside this hallowed Cybertronian ground. As Elita finally finishes up with the two Decepticons, asking CLiffjumper, do you know how to work it? My guess is as good as yours. When all of a sudden the machine starts activating itself, Elita asks CLiffjumper, what did you do?
Nothing. It just turned on. There! The little red demon exclaims as a monitor says sparks needed for creation event. Quickly taking the spark canister, CLiffjumper places it in the slot the machine provides. Spark collection nominal. Begin creation event. As CLiffjumper's finger hovers over the button to activate the machine, he simply says, "Here goes everything," and presses the button. The machine activates and the process begins. Much to the surprise of Elita-1, she tells CLiffjumper it's asking for a secondary mode. "Way ahead of you. Blades, let her go!" CLiffjumper says with genuine joy in his face, as Blades drops the mangled wreck of Carly's van onto the platform. The entire area lights up with energon as Cybertron finally, after centuries, gives new life to its surface. As the figure starts emerging from the smoke from the process, it tells CLiffjumper that we I recognize you from ages past. Standing with trepidation, CLiffjumper just asks, "My new friend, tell me, what do the combined sparks of my clan call themselves? What is your name?"
My name is Shreadhead.
Outside the well of sparks, Bluestreak, Warpath, and Blur are surrounded.
Hi, Lita, come in. We're completely surrounded.
Keep finding as fast as you can. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
I don't want to get blown up again.
Hotlink screams no mercy for the Autobrats as he continues to lay down suppressive fire, as another Decepticon throws a grenade towards the Autobots' cover. As Bluestreak tries to recover from the grenade, the Decepticons close in. As Rippersnapper gets ready to start munching on Bluestreak's face, he is suddenly plowed down by a revived Carly's van. Shreadhead transforms, donning his sword and shield.
You guys ready to shred?
Rippersnapper screams for Bitstream to help him, only to have Shreadhead stick his sword straight through the cranial cavity of the Decepticon.
You dare!
Screams Hotlink as Shreadhead lops off his limbs effortlessly.
I thought so.
Turning towards the remaining Decepticon who is pleading with Shreadhead to wait, Shreadhead just charges and slices him straight down the center by Primus's hand.
I know, Bluestreak.
Elita says as she rests a hand on Bluestreak's shoulder with a genuine smile spreading across her face.
I think we may have just turned the tide.
Sometime later, Shreadhead walks up to CLiffjumper, who's sitting on the ledge staring off into the Cybertronian night sky.
What are you looking at, CLiffjumper?
I have a friend, far away. I'm worried about her. I've already lost so many. The little red demon then turns towards the amalgamation of sparks, asking, does any part of you recognize me?
When I see your face, it's like recalling a memory, but one that is too hazy to make sense of.
Okay, CLiffjumper says, broken-hearted, as Shreadhead continues.
But even though it's hazy, I know one thing for certain. The sparks that made me who I am are forever connected to you. This friend, how do you know her?
She is a human, different than you and me. Small and fragile, but still has a strong spirit. She painted what's on the side of your van, CLiffjumper tells the new Autobot, as Shreadhead runs up and grabs CLiffjumper, asking, she's the one that painted this art, and she's in danger? Yes?
What are we waiting for? Let's go get her!
And that, my wicked viewers, concludes the Cybertronian side of issue 17, 18, and 20. Before I wrap this video up, I want to give a huge thank you to Kiersten Greenfield for voicing Elita-1 and Rohnin the VA for voicing Shreadhead and the aerial bots on the Earth side bound. On the Earth side of Skybound story. That is the third or fourth time I've done that flub. I'm leaving it in. Fuck it. Anyway, on to the story. Yeah, I did mix up Carnivac and Rippersnapper, but since the character gets killed off, I'm not going to fix it. So if Rippersnapper does appear, Rippersnapper will be named appropriately and not named Carnivac, because technically Carnivac is no more.
thanks to Shreadhead. And what a payoff for CLiffjumper's impossible little journey. And by succeeding in bringing his friends back to life in Shreadhead, that sparks hope in Elita, where she had lost all hope, and fully understandable why she lost all hope. The leader of your faction has apparently abandoned the cause and fled the home world and fled the war. When he did return, it was also when Shockwave harvested an insane amount of energy that could have been used to change the war in your favor, but Optimus, over his morality, destroyed that energy source, scarring your home world forevermore, and just like the energy reserves, completely obliterating all hope that you may have had at ending this war once and for all, only to have the tiniest of the fucking Autobots tell you, no, we can do this, and then pulls it off. Not only giving you an extra soldier to help turn the tide, which Shreadhead does instantly by shredding 3 fucking Decepticons like that, but now thanks to these two, they're going to be hell-bent on getting back to Earth, which means you can reunite with the Autobot forces, only to discover that Megatron has returned and all hell is going to break loose and we are all fucking screwed. Because Megatron has returned. The one thing that would replace Shockwave as an effective leader has returned. And with the revelation that Megatron has returned, probably on the horizon for the Autobots here on Cybertron, I'm going to wrap this video up. As always, please, please, please go out and buy your own physical and or digital copies of any of the comics I have dubbed, or any of the shows that I have dubbed scenes from. Those people deserve your money, not me, which is why I don't have monetization, which also allows me to say shit, damn, fuck, and other words. But seriously, please go out and buy your own physical and or digital copies of anything that I have dubbed. I would prefer, if it's the printed materials like comics, buy the physical. That way printing stays around and this little fish gets to stay employed and enjoy his work. And once again, thank you, Kiersten Greenfield and Rohnin the VA for your assistance in bringing life to characters that I would not have been able to do so myself. And with that, this is Fishy 22.8, logging off. Later, wicked peoples.